e-gaming bets, online betting for every esports fan. Dota 2 and Hearthstone, CSGO and Overwatch, StarCraft 2, the choice is yours. Express bets for multiple matches or live bets on the game you are watching right now. Know your way around Dota 2? Make a prediction for picks and bans. Playing CSGO? Guess the number of rounds in a certain match. Daily quest for all participants and all the best choice of payment systems. More than 600,000 users have already made their bets on the spectacular matches since 2011. EGB.com. You know for sure who's gonna win.
Well, after an interesting first map, we are back for map number 2. This is, of course, the Starladder iLeague Star Series Season 3. And joining me once more will be Harry. Is it possible to turn this one around?
Well, Epsilon are in peak performance. That is one thing that was incredibly obvious as a result of their 16-2 victory over Tricked just moments ago. A very, very fast, a very, very high-octane match from them. But as we head into this, Epsilon, famously not amazing on Train. Tricked, famously fairly good on Train. I feel like if there was a map they could make their comeback on, it would be this.
I want to point something out. I said it to you moments ago, but actually we saw them lose 16-1 on Inferno the other day to Pride, and then win the next map on Train 16-9. So definitely a team that can turn it around in terms of their mentality, in terms of the sort of, okay, that was bad, let's get back on the horse. And if this is probably the map they could do it on, if any.
Definitely so. As per usual, we'll speak to you guys in the chat and just say hello. Wish you all a fantastic day. Maybe we'll do it in an ASMR style. Just to... No, maybe not, actually. I know, it feels weird. It feels really weird doing that, actually. I don't know how people can do that full time. Tom, does it feel like I'm just in your ear, like whispering sweet nothings? Because that's
what you mean, like getting really close.
Yeah. What you're doing right now. But guys, be sure to let us know your predictions, your thoughts, things like that, how you're all doing this evening. We'll be
I've got a joke.
Beginning.
I've got a joke.
Go on, then.
Tricked on cobblestone.
Oh! You need to have
the
we need to have like the gif for the rap battle like guy, you know, he walks past and he's like, oh, dude, that'd be good. But yeah, so there we go. YNO 2K. Hope you enjoyed that. Reflex says more ASMR. We've also got K Cartel, who says that Hunden will dominate on this map. Mark my words. Consider your words marked. Da1337N00B Pona says, let's go Tricked. Ironaki says savage at your joke, Tom, which I think is fairly true. Tom is savage. He makes
Savage is a Chinese player.
There we go. You learn something new every day. We've also got X Funkydelic. I don't know. It's just it's a nice name, really, isn't it? XM94 says ASMR. I mean, we could always do a little bit more.
Please.
I feel like, what do they say? Like, and this is the
ready for some Counter-Strike.
This is the Hunden haircut scenario. Hunden's gonna come in and have his haircut, and it's gonna be ASMR. Like, oh, that's weird. No.
Is that all we're gonna do? Just get you to commentate Hunden's haircuts from now on?
He's been getting plenty of haircuts with how often his face has been taken off by 7.62 rounds out the AKs. Am I right? Epsilon have been landing their shots. And what a transition into this. Any more stuff in chat that we can take a look at? We've got Stimmy, who says that they won't dominate. Mocha says, please do CS ASMR live. Glowingstrom says, more smacking in the mic. No, dude, that cringes me out. I can't knowingly put that on someone, because that's what they do, isn't it? They're like, oh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Reflex, I cannot say that. Mocha says it'll bring in views and money. I don't think it will. I think it will bring in neither. And I think no one will want to work with me ever again. Maybe Tom. Sam says, more Tom? Question mark? That is the answer to everything. Tom, take it away.
That's a lot of pressure. What am I going to say? I've got nothing. I just do analysis side, so when you're being weird, I just have to sort of sit here and just like nod. Like, yes, this is bad. This is bad stuff. This is the sort of thing that when you get to your major, will come back to haunt you on Reddit.
Yeah, probably. I'll still be doing it at major. They'll be like, oh, and we're going to see this guy dying just like my voice. Keep it in the realms of PG-13. In all seriousness, I have just popped a throat sweet because my throat is currently bleeding. It's not actually. I'd be extremely worried. But speaking of bleeding, we're going to be heading into the pistol round now, and let's see who kickstarts the bloodfest. That is going to be just this murder brawl of a pistol round. Bob making his way down towards Ivy. 3 players there. You can see that Freddie B's got aggressive early on, and he might be running into Hunted and Epsilon who peek out here, and he's going to be eliminated very early on. Now they're going to use this aggressive position to gain some ground towards A, and you can see that Hunted's going to continue the aggression right now. This is going to be very bad for Epsilon. He can come in from behind on the long flank, make his way down pop, and that's exactly what he's going to do. Epsilon, meanwhile, looking to try and force the issue towards CT, facing off against these USPs at long range. This is going to be too ideal. And Rez, he's just crab walking along, trying to get out of the crosshair. Does do so. 3-on-4 now as they make their way towards the A site.
Yeah, it's a decent position at the moment for the CT side. They managed to surround the majority, and lovely shot from Barak to catch off the jumping Draken Bomb. Will go down. But he's just doing more and more damage, and now it's down to Pistol King, Mr. Barber, to try and hold this one off. He gets the first, spins around, looking for Maeve, actually gets that kill as well. Now, they don't have a kit on the remaining 2 players, so there's actually good potential for him to go for something here. I think he knows there's nobody on the bomb at the moment. We'll hear the tap coming in again. They're trying to bait him back in, but he's going to get another one. Looking for the final kill. Can't quite do it, but it is going to be a great effort coming in from Barber. 3 kills, just couldn't quite win the 1 versus 4.
Yeah, Trick, they will be picking that up, and that's the start they needed over on the CT side. Epsilon, they do get that bomb down. It's going to be interesting to see if they go for the force, try and, you know, go for it while their spirits are riding high, and that might be the case. Barbar's already bought himself a deagle. On the flip side, though, he did get 3 frags, so he will have enough money to buy one anyway, and then still go for the buy into round number 3, and that looks to be the case. Everyone else going to be playing it safe. That does mean these 3 UMPs could look to farm some cash on the side of Trick, but you've still got to worry about Barbar, who does have the deagle, and he is a man of many things, no less. Headshots being one of the primary things that he's invested a lot of time in. And, well, we can see early on, they're trying to push up towards B. Carly nearly gets clipped there by a bullet up through the window. Kind of popular spam spot now in towards those upper tunnels, as it does allow you just to catch players off guard, find some early damage, and potentially a frag, which would then definitely end up on Reddit in a bit of a witch hunt. But yeah, we can see right now they're stacked up towards B. B's a great site as well. It allows you, oh my god, Barbar, no! The artillery raiding on him, but yeah, B's a fantastic site for you to get that bomb down. It is just one that you can rush into, even with Glocks for the most part, and still manage to get a bomb plant. Let's see if that works out for Epsilon now. If the push comes underway, Asilian's on the site. He's going to fall straight away, but Maeve is here to try and back it up. Bomb's going to go down. He won't be able to deny it just yet, but he continues this aggression. The scavenged UMP on Freddie B. Going to be able to find that frag, turning it back into a 3-on-3, and suddenly Epsilon, they're going to find themselves in the driving seat here. The retake underway, 2 rifles still up. Barbar with the deagle has to try and find some 1Ds. He's going to get 1. His 2 players fall on the site with only 22 HP. He's up in towards uppers. They don't have a smoke for this. And he's just going to be waiting, playing this perfectly right now, watching for any sort of aggression. And Borup doesn't know where he's coming from. He's going to peek out wide. Borup doesn't find the shot. And that will be Tricked finding that second round. But plenty of money now for Epsilon and plenty of damage done.
What I really like most about that, the initial push down ramp, just as almost like a, hey Asilian, look at me, and then they all run out of upper at once, just to dominate his position. Very, very smart way to just get the bomb down securely, and the fact that they then got a couple of extra kills, this means that absolutely no money has been made by Tricked going into this round. It is literally just them forcing everything. The maximum they have is 850 on 2 different players. So now is where Epsilon really can capitalize. However, if they win this round, well, no harm done. They'll be able to continue into the next.
They continue this aggression and towards the site. Rez finds himself 1. It's Maven towards the Heavens here trying to deny that bomb plant. He's running out of ammo quickly, but he still had to pick up 1 frag, just dodging around the pillar right now. He's doing a lot of damage. Asilian as well rotates on through. Drops out Draken, leaving it all on Barbar, and he can't connect the shots. Asilian finds himself 2 frags, Maeve on 2 as well. And that's going to carry Trick through onto a 3rd round. Plenty of money starting to accrue in that CT side economy. A couple of players looking a little bit low, but for the most part, this is where they want to be. Epsilon will be able to buy on down to about $2,000, which we'll see a couple of these players with pistol and armor, but for the most part, they're going to be fairly naked and vulnerable heading into this one.
Yeah, the Deegs, you said, are in play. Much better from the CT side. They actually had, what, a player in heaven who just managed to stay alive for such a long time that was what really ruined the round for this T side. Rez trying to go out for some ludicrous aggression. You're actually going to see a little bit of a boost over towards Ivy, but it doesn't work. S-Tag actually takes down Draken through the smoke. Doesn't actually spot out the boosted player. Actually, two players are getting out towards this A site now, trying to look for the picks. Not quite able to connect onto S-Tag, and well, it looks like at the moment Tricked are doing a very good job of just picking them apart. Freddy is going to be the only one left alive. He does have the bomb in hand. That's pretty much all he's got going for him at the moment, as he's very low on HP. He really just wants to try and pick someone with him, but it's not going to be the case. Tricked managed to get this to 4-0, and Epsilon now looking to buy back up into this round.
Yeah, now they can get that AWP on Draken, and Train is one at these maps where the AWP is kind of, you know, can be the turning point for a lot of these teams, especially when you have it on such a talented player like Draken, and no one on the side of Tricked stepping up to the mark to try and counteract that. Does mean that they should be able to win out in these long-range engagements. You can see that already Draken is going to be taking it over towards B, trying to find some aggression. 3 players looking to try and rush on up. Do get denied by that Molotov, and as Draken kickstarting this one, Hunden goes aggressive and pays for it with his life. He has got to be wary as there's 3 players around the corner. There are a lot of Danes coming in from behind. He just gets around the corner. They don't manage to spot it out, but now they do have control of Pop. And oh no, Carly and Draken both pay for this with their lives. An amazing push from Tricked to retake back the advantage in this one. A nice pop flash for Rez. Doesn't yield to too much over towards Ivy. ZS3 just looking to play things passively. Tricked, they fall on back, play the safe angles, and look to maintain this man advantage.
Yeah, I really like that boost. Catching out Draken. Going to make things a lot more difficult for the T side to get themselves back into this round. Big part of this could come down to Barber, though. Are they going to expect him to be there? The answer is no. And now S-Tag actually quite isolated. There's nobody able to really help him out, but he's going to win the duel. And I'm not... Well, actually, the Molotov. That was very smart from him. He uses the Molotov to stop Rez being able to push. And then isolates Barber as well. Nice play from him. Leaving it into a 3 versus 2. Rez pretty much has to get this kill, otherwise the round is done and dusted. Freddy with the AWP. Really able to do too much. Trying to find some sort of duel at the moment, but it's just not working out. They've only got 25 seconds left to make their play. They're going to throw a crossing set of Molotovs, but that hasn't really benefited them at all. And Epsilon will even peek out. Finish off one more, and I think he just spotted Freddy over towards Electric. And we'll even end it with a lovely little one-tap.
Yeah, he only had 2 bullets left in his gun, but he only needed 1. Trick now arriving at 5 rounds. A very good performance from them early on, and that is exactly what they needed to slow down the Swedish beast that is Epsilon. Now they're kind of struggling on Train, and this is one that we said, you know, not really one that they're too fond of. Tricked, meanwhile, looking to be very strong on Train, and it does look like that's in full effect. Now they're going to be making their way over towards B. Maeve checks mid with the AWP, now rotates back over to help his comrades out towards that B site. Smokes and flashes on towards A. Hasn't caused too much of an over-rotation just yet. You still have Borup playing in towards Connector. He can quickly rotate between either one of these sites to assist on B if need be. Maeve watching the long angle with the AWP as well. It means Epsilon only has to worry about upper for the time being. There's Epsilon stack up outside of B. I imagine we're going to see a rotate from Tricked in towards the B site any second now.
Seen them quite easily get the bomb down previously over on this side. Do quite a lot with the pistols. Cillian is going to be playing up close. Uses the Molotov to stop anybody coming from his right side. Rez is just going to go straight for the bomb plant, and Cillian wanted to deny it, but instead actually hands the rifle. A lot of damage, however, has been done. Barbara is going to go down. Draken likely to follow the same suit as Baruch, able to do a lot of damage in this moment in time. We are going to see him continue this push, and with a lot of flashes coming in from his teammates, this retake is looking all but easy. Obviously, the main aim of the game was to just get the plant down, but very nice retake coming in at the moment from Tricked, and Freddy, while he's isolated, shouldn't be able to get anywhere near this bomb.
No, it's really going to do a great job of eliminating him. Tricked, they pick up their 6th. And I mean, we're seeing, you know, an almost entirely new look from Tricked right now. They went from looking so incredibly squishy, juicy, and vulnerable on cobblestone to something very sturdy, very well oiled here on train. A completely different team. And oh my god, Epsilon's going to be breaking out the auto sniper.
I think the big problem with this team at the moment is actually just their map pool. I think that's the biggest thing. The maps that they actually practice, they are actually pretty good at. They're not bad on this map at all. We've seen them win it against multiple teams, but they can't play Inferno. They definitely can't play Cobble, at least against Epsilon. And it's just becoming a bit of a problem that clearly they need to get a few more maps in their map pool. Because if you only get one ban, you're going to be left in a bit of a hole. Either way, they have managed to get themselves a 6-0 lead. It is actually going to be a double AWP setup. Now, I'm not a huge fan of this on train because it really relies on somebody over peeking. If they don't and they play passive, you're going to be left with 2 AWPs trying to entry onto a site, which on train can be very difficult. There's quite a lot of tough choke points to get through on this map.
See, I'm completely different. I like the double up T-side setup here on train. I think it adds a lot of versatility, at least, to taking these longer peaks. I do agree with you, it can be very cumbersome trying to make your way into the site. And well, Hunt and Borup, they kickstart this the right way. Carly able to find one and return through the edge of that smoke. Borup's still here, though, over at the Pop Dog. Isn't going to be peeking out just yet. Manify still going the way of Trick, Draken, and Carly. The 2 AWPers left alive. Draken able to find one in return. Now he's trying to peek out. He hasn't been able to push out through. Ivy smokes down there to deny him presence just yet. And this is where the AWP is a little bit limited. In these one-on-one duels, Epsilon still has the auto sniper as well. Oh, but Carly with an insane flick there onto Borup, who turning into a 2-on-2. Draken goes for the Glock peek and pays for it with his life. Now it's all on Carly. 1v2 pushing it towards B, and there's Maeve. Locking down the angle with an AWP in hand. That's going to be 7-0 secured right now for Tricked. And we've just seen a landslide game on Cobble in favor of Epsilon. This one looks to be a landslide game in favor of Tricked on train.
Yeah, no, the T side at the moment really struggling to find any sort of openings. Definitely looking like a much more prepared map coming out from Tricked. They know exactly where they're playing. They know how their teammates are going to be playing the map as well. And it's just looking like very smart Counter-Strike in the end of things. So far, so good. Obviously, they've still got quite a way to go in this matchup. Seen Virtus Pro do this in the major final and then go on to lose with 7 rounds on the T side. So, definitely isn't over as of yet. Oh, Maeve. Oh! So close!
Oh, Maeve, come on!
Oh.
No!
I was believing for a second. Going for the skadoodle.
That would have been unreal. Nail in the coffin for Epsilon's morale, but they do dodge the shot through the wall somehow against all odds. Now they're making their way towards B. Barbar's here to lurk over at A, and it has worked for the time being. Cillian's got to try and hold this on his own. There's a slight gap in that smoke as Draken was about to find out, but Rez going to fall. Cillian's still holding the angle, and this auto at long range is just terrifying to have to deal with. Carly tries peeking it with the Galil, and it's going to learn very, very quickly that that is a bad call to make. Has to fall on back. The man advantage should be going in favor of Trick. They try to hold the site with the Galil, or able to find it. They just double peek him there. Man advantage is still very much in favor of Trick in this retake, especially as Draken falls. Now it's Freddy B and Barbar. The 2 players very close and grouped up together. It's all on Freddy, and in the blink of an eye, he falls as well. A textbook retake there. Epsilon doesn't even take a single lick of damage as the lone B player on that auto, and that's going to be an 8-0 scoreline. You can tell that's something they've kind of prepared already, having Epsilon on the auto by locking down B on his own. He actually dropped it for the AK.
So clearly just like he's going to... I quite like it. He's shown it to them, and then if they switch up the way they play, he no longer has it. It's almost just like a little bit of a surprise factor for one round. I think that's quite a nice way of actually doing things, but either way, 8-0. They're going to be feeling pretty confident at this moment in time. Epsilon actually going to go for the aggressive peek. Does spot out Rez, doesn't manage to finish him off just yet. Something else I want to point out about this B defense. They're not going overly aggressive. They're very happy to just fall back to the very back of the site and basically just mean that Epsilon can't play the way they want to play on these sort of positions where they go aggressive, where they take over the site. They're just saying, okay, you can sit back here and wait for us to retake, and that's so hard to do on this map. Either way, Epsilon this time is alone. The rotation will be coming in, but again, he's not going to go over aggro. He's just going to wait for them to push towards him and use his crosshair placement to take down the first. Second comes in for Barup. He's actually going to go aggro through the smoke. Actually gets killed by Hunden.
And now this is suddenly a very doable scenario, all because that one team kill. Hunden has to try and remedy that as he pushes on through. Freddy be able to find another. Barbar finds himself a second and a third. Hunden goes down, and that's going to be Epsilon to pick up their first. Honestly, I don't think they could have done that without Hunden.
Literally, he literally lost in the round. Because he was that was Epsilon about to get behind both players without either of them looking at him. That one kill.
Everything happens for a reason, and maybe God Hunden had a plan for all laced in this map.
Snatch it away.
Exactly.
You have AWP. Both sides at the moment. Draken finally able to get his back in play. Definitely not looking anywhere near as alive as he was on the previous map. Then again, nobody is. Barber's had a couple of moments. Looked like he tried to make some heroics in that pistol round, but other than that, we haven't really seen too much. Obviously, still a chance for them to salvage this. If they got it back to 8-7, we'd be saying this is a great half coming out. But so far, not so good. Nice little trade coming in. 2 players actually over towards Popdog. Quite a surprising way to play the game, but that's been pretty much the story of Trick. They've been switching up their CT side play almost every round. Nice hold from Draken, though. Covers off his teammate, makes sure there's no way that Barber's going down, at least without a refrag, and in fact, even stops him from dying. Maeve not quite able to hold off that pig. Now, he definitely is better on this map. Draken, how do you expect Hunden to be there? Just so smart. I'm actually going to give them a man advantage.
Ready to be on the lurk as well. Does deal with Maeve. Now it's all on Epsilon 1v3. He's trying to retake in through connector here. Smoke should go down to deny that. And well, he's just biding his time. No one's going to peek though. No one wants to give him the angle, and as a result, he will just fall on back and save.
What was that? Just aiming at him straight through the wall. Interesting. Kidding, of course. He's actually just holding an angle.
Epsilon 1v3. Might want to find Freddy B as he rotates back. Oh, no. Freddy B quicker on the trigger. Does dispatch of the lone tricked player. Epsilon, they pick themselves up a second round. It looks like the second of many to come. There is still enough money for Trick to buy up into this one with Maeve potentially dropping, but instead they opt just to go ahead and drop one. That's all they need, actually, because then you have ES3 going to be relegated down to the Famous, the baby brother of the M4. Maeve does have the AWP as well. But they don't really... I mean, I didn't realize it is going to be glass cannon, isn't it? So that does make him a hell of a lot more vulnerable. You can see the aggression once again over here towards Pop, but this time it doesn't pay off. Red's going to get 2. Does go for that repeat. Tricked. Able to equalize things out as Maeve does get that refrag, putting it back into a 3-on-3, but still, they lose Hunden and Epsilon in that aggressive play. They've done it every single round almost, and this time it doesn't pay off. Something we were commending them for was how much they were switching up their CT side setup. They tried doing that twice in a row, and Epsilon shut it down. That's going to equalize things back into a 3-on-3. Make that a 3-on-2 as Freddy B opens up that A site. No one else here from the side of Trick to currently defend it as the push comes on through. The rotate coming in from Maeve with the AWP. Going to get caught out by Draken. Now it's all on Borup, who's gone in for that long rotate through Popdog. Might be able to find one on a Draken, but he's still going to find himself in a 1-on-2, even if he gets it.
Draken actually going to look away just at the wrong time, but I think he did actually hear Borup, and because of that, Borup's actually just going to fall back. I think that's the right decision to make. Doesn't want to give away too much. Is he going to come back? Is this sort of his, like, ultimate fake? Make a load of noise and then just come back in? It looks like he was trying to bait them into thinking he's actually gone in the other direction, and that hasn't particularly worked, as they are actually going to be coming back towards him with Freddy pushing in through the stairs, and actually going to completely miss the shots as well. So this is now a big opportunity for them to actually get towards that 7 marker. 3 rounds in a row. Finally resetting that CT economy. Obviously, because the loss bonus has been building up behind them, they will be able to buy in the next round anyway. But, yeah, a few mistakes coming out. I actually don't think that the push they did that round was wrong in any way. I think it was just that, obviously, the execution didn't work out as Rez manages to get a couple, and they really needed it to work, because this time, unlike the other rounds where they had loads of utility to back them up, this was literally just weaponry and very little head armor even to play with.
This time it is all on Epsilon with that CZ. All of his teammates have fallen over towards the A side now. He wants to try and find himself a gun if possible. And as he rotates in through CT, might want to catch Freddy B off guard, as he's going to be the last one into this site to rejoin the rest of the Swedes. Nowhere to have much luck though, just hiding in the corner. Freddy B pushing on through. Is he going to check it? Does hear the footsteps. Freddy peeks it and oh, Epsilon gonna lose his head. Epsilon, they pick themselves up a fourth. That's gonna be their fourth consecutively. Finally Tricked have enough money once again to buy on down. But still, it has been a very nice resurgence, at least for Epsilon, after losing the first 8. I would say, you know, them potentially hauling this one back to an 8-7 scoreline isn't entirely out of the question based on what we've seen thus far.
Yeah, oh no, this would be wonderful for them, but at the same time, I am starting to believe that it is possible. I think a lot of what we saw from Tricked came out of confidence, and if they lose that at any stage, we could see a complete resurgence back to what we saw in the previous map. So definitely not done and dusted. As said, 7 rounds, 6 rounds, it's all still possible on a map like Trade. Obviously, a lot relies on their sort of CT side, and also relies on them actually picking up at least one more round, I think. I think if they only get 4, then they are in quite a bit of trouble. But Maeve, back on that AWP again. He has been one of the standout players so far. However, this time they are actually going to lose Ivy control. Now, this isn't something that happens too often for them, and because of it, it looks like it's completely dismantled the setup. It's like pulling out one of the bottom pieces of a Jenga. Everything just seems to topple at once.
Rez on the entry able to equalize things back into that 2-1-2. It's Cillian now. Does have this very 2-1-2, 2-1-3, sorry. Returning that man advantage back in their favor. Freddy B on the flank as well. Does catch Cillian with his pants down. Now it's all on Maeve. 1v3. Has got the AWP. Was tunnels. Can't quite connect that shot. Has to fall on back. Ooh, some sick hops. Admin, he's doing it sideways as he continues to knock them out. Heading around towards Ivy now for the retake. Freddy B is going to try peeking the angle. Doesn't quite connect that shot. Maeve hasn't given up just yet, though, but Carly has got the crossfire set up with Freddy in a great position to trade this out. He finds himself stuck between a whole bunch of Swedes walking unbeknownst to him into the crosshair of Rez. And that's going to be Epsilon to pick up their 5th consecutively. Once again, the money on Tricked is going to be dangerously low, to the point where they will just probably force buy down to about $2,000 once again. But still, I mean, Epsilon, they've clawed this back in a phenomenal way.
Yeah, I think the most surprising thing about that round was that rather than it was, in most of the rounds that we've seen them lose, it was a lot of aggression being caught. In that round, it was actually just a push onto Ivy. The second they lost that player, it was done. Oh, Draken's so quick. Hunden doesn't even get a chance. People couldn't even type God Hunden in the chat quick enough. He was dead so fast in that round.
Cillian can be next to fall as Rez locking down the flank. Draken just waiting for Burp to rear in through. Connector can be able to find the first. Maybe it's there, but he peeks out wide and finds himself a second. Doesn't allow the pistol to get the better of him up close and personal. That's now Epsilon on 6. 1 round away from clawing back what was an 8-0 half to an 8-7 scoreline. Don't get me wrong, it's amazing that Tricked got the first 8, but since then it has all been Epsilon. You can tell that they're desperate. Cillian picking up that scar once again. Is it going to serve its purpose? He sacrifices all utility just to pick that up. Is it worth it?
Oh, we're going to have to wait and see. He is playing solo over towards the B site. Actually, Hunden... Oh. Barber with the 1G in the chat. What? Freddy straight through smoke. What a way to equalize. That is ridiculous stuff. Just taps the angle, hoping that somebody will walk across. Evens up scoreline once again. Hunden, quite a bit to prove. Of course, we did actually see the turnaround of this map begin with a team kill from him. Not blaming him, but... well, maybe I am. Either way. Maeve already tagged low. Gonna make things a little bit more difficult. Now, they do have 2 players over towards Ivy still. Hunden is going to be waiting, and they do have a little bit of support from Barup as well around that very angle. The bomb, in the meantime, is actually heading its way in the other direction. However, if it's a 4v2 and the bomb goes down on B, I'm not really going to be rating their chances, so Freddy needed to get something done, and Hunden is going to step up. Now the auto sniper going to be waiting for that cross. Exactly what it needed to do. They can even let Draken go for the bomb plant here. There shouldn't be any hope for him in this round. He's so low on HP. But if there was any man to do it, this is the man you want in the situation. The AWP for the team, but Epsilon with the auto will finish things off. A 9-6 half, but it could have been so much more.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Rez and Carly both having a very quiet game, not going to be helping and contributing to Epsilon's current scoreline, especially when you think about how strong a performance these two players had in the first match. And now we're starting to fall off, and it just goes to say you, Epsilon, he was bottom fragging heading into that round there. And if you ever find yourself in a similar scenario, you know, you're down 6 rounds consecutively, you're bottom of the leaderboard, just pick up an auto sniper and the kills come your way. But it will now be 8-9-6 scoreline secure. There is going to be a brief pause, I think, in the middle, as I think there's some issues on the side of Tricked. But I imagine that's going to be fixed fairly shortly. As we head into this one, Epsilon, if they pick up the pistol, Tom, they will be arriving at a 9-9 scoreline at least, equalizing things out.
Yeah, and after the start, that's where things get a little bit problematic. If this had been the final end of the half score with backwards and forwards rounds, I don't think Tricked would go into this feeling hard done by. The reason that they might is because they lost 6 rounds in a row. They after winning 9 or 8, sorry. So it's sort of one of those positions where, like, realistically, it's not a bad half score at all. It really isn't, but they should have done better. That's the thing that I hope doesn't get stuck into their heads. Now, everybody on their team has stepped up, that's for sure. There's not a player who's slacking at the moment or has had some particularly bad performances. On the other side of things, a lot of this has relied, well, on Freddy, on Draken with the AWP. Barber and the pistol as well had a good little fight there, but we need to see a couple of players step up. Now, going into the CT side, that's definitely possible. Now, Draken on the CT side, if he gets his AWP early, we could definitely see a step up from him. Obviously, for most of the time, we're talking about this being a CT-sided map. I know that the lower tiers of Counter-Strike, it can change a little bit. Like, we see maps that should be very CT-sided actually coming in the other direction because teams really struggle to actually hold the CT side of the map. Should it be a problem for Epsilon? But, as you said, the pistol is, as always, going to play a big part because it could be the difference between Epsilon getting back to an even scenario or the difference between a 6-round lead for Tricked, if they convert, of course.
Yeah, let's go ahead and look at your guys' thoughts in chat. You know, seeing as we do have a bit of an extended pause coming in, Mocha 010170 asks Tim, what are your predictions?
I think I may have just... Well, I alluded to
Tim
what
Boz.
I think will have Tim Boz 44. I think someone's actually called me that in game before, just like so angry that they forgot how to type. But I'm hoping none of you are that angry. I'm just liking the name Cat the Fire Magic. Like that, I just think that's an awesome name. I wish I could have thought of something as original as that rather than putting my first name and last name and then for some reason adding the number 14.
Consty0112 says, where are you from, casters? Well, we are both from England, both from the United Kingdom.
Can't you tell I'm from Ghana?
Yeah, Tom, of course, the resident. I don't know what the...
Ghanaian?
Anyway, casters, text speak. Yeah, now we basically are just text to speak. That's literally it. The chat fuels us. And Ghost Flame, thank you. But here we go, pushing away towards the B site. Can't able to find one Draken as well. Oh, he's on 2. He's looking for a 3rd. They haven't had to deal with him just yet as he peeks out wide. Rez comes through to help a brother out, and now it's all on Hunden. He falls, doesn't even get the bomb down for Tricked, and that pistol round was over in a matter of seconds. They completely locked them out of the B site, and that is phenomenal. That B site is one that teams go to hit because it is so easy to get a surefire bomb plant. To be able to stop the rush is truly a phenomenal start here from Epsilon, and winning that pistol, Tom, was exactly what we were saying they needed to do to equalize things out. Tricked are just going to opt to not buy armor. Interesting choice. Will allow them to finance a few pistols into the next one or save up for the extra utility into round number 17. And slowly down the ladder, Freddy B going to get gifted Hunden. He sneaks on down, pays for it with his life. The early man advantage can be going the way of Epsilon here. And now it looks like Tricked stacking up outside of B. Going to be going for the bomb plant once more. Let's see if Epsilon can shut this down.
Yeah, there's two ways you can look at this buy. Either they are just saving so they get extra utility, or they're hoping they get a bomb plant, then they can buy in the next. So either way, it is just a way of trying to have a better buy in the next. They could even just, if they don't get the bomb down, buy another pistol and just have another go with the Deegs. It wouldn't be the worst case scenario. I would prefer them to get utility, but then when I play, I still buy Tech 9 armor in every second round ever, so it makes no difference whatsoever. And at the moment, that bomb plant is looking impossible. Only one man remains. It's going to be Maeve with his trusty Glock out. And, well, it's looking like they're not too happy about that, and they're going to make him put it away.
Yeah, Maeve actually getting the restraining order there from the A site by Epsilon for being out in public with his Glock out. Of course, it is going to be a 9-8 scoreline now secured for Epsilon as they find themselves that Antigua. They don't lose a single player, so fast building up money on the CT side. And now Tricked, you can see, because they didn't opt to buy up the armor, they will have a little bit more cash than usual. That's going to allow a couple of these guys to buy PT-50s. They've got the nade as well on ES3. The flash on Hunden. Let's see if they can put this extra bit of utility to good use.
I don't think Hunden was too happy about them being shot in their last round, and they are going to just rush him down. Freddy is out. Almost gets one more jumping with the OMP. Perfectly balanced weapon, of course, and it will in fact be the P250 to finish off a second. Luckily for this CT side, they are all very low. Nice shot from Draken. Will flick onto the head of one, and he's just going to come in, look to clean things up, get himself a third, and they will clean up this round. However, considering what was invested, pretty good round for Trick. They're going to get themselves a bomb plant, even though they had saved quite a bit of money. And this should actually allow Maeve to get an AWP, armor, and maybe even a couple of nades.
Yeah, that is the benefit of going into it on such a low investment and getting the bomb down. They also do a fair bit of damage, like you're saying. I mean, 3 players staying alive, less than ideal when you consider how little they actually put into it. And now Tricked may gonna be able to get that AWP. Plenty of utility across the board. Everything they would need, even on the AWPer in this 3rd round buy, which is very unusual. 4th round buy, sorry. Barbar able to get an AWP of his own. Interestingly enough, not going to be on Draken. I guess trying to play off the spawn for this, as he did have the peek for B. Doesn't get there in time, and now we're going to be seeing the AWP on him instead of Draken. And they try going aggressive. They pay for it with their lives. Maeve and Epsilon will shut that down before it becomes a problem. Leaving it now with a 2-man advantage in favor of Trick. They've got control of Ivy if need be. Flash comes out. That's going to allow Barbar to peek wide. He can't quite connect the shot, though. Onto Borup. And right now, Trick, they have basically free roam of this map wherever they want to go. Carly might have pushed up aggressively towards A main, but they're going to be watching the angle for the time being. If he peeks around the corner, he will be going down.
This is going to be a tough, tough situation for Epsilon to come back from. Callie is going to be the man to try and do it, and he completely misses the spray. Hunden is going to take his head clean off. And now, well, if we look towards the remaining 2 players, I personally want them to save here, because you look at the amount of money, there's a couple of players who probably won't be able to buy. In fact, it's the 2 players currently alive that won't have a huge amount of money going into the next round. The rest of the team will be able to buy, could even pull in a double AWP setup if Draken wants to go for something of the sort. And after the aggression doesn't pay off in this round, I think that should be the smart decision to make. Freddy?
Oh no, Freddy.
Ooh, this is
Freddy's going to find him in a very bad place. Epsilon's there as well. Flash goes out. It's not even real. It's a fake one. Fooled me at least. He wants to go out for the peak. Going to be tagged. Barbar to find Hunden as well. They're making it very costly for Tricked right now. Epsilon wants to continue to hunt. He knows their economy's not going to be looking too great, but they don't have the money. 2 peeks out wide with the AWP, and Freddy quickly regrets that decision of holding that angle. Barbar the only one who can save, but they do still have enough money now to buy up Draken. Like you said, they can adopt the double AWP setup, or we can use some of that, you know, large amounts of cash to drop a 2nd rifle, and that looks to be what they are going to be doing. Freddy B relegated down to the FAMAS, the double AWP setup in play, and on the CT side, it can be incredibly powerful.
I do love how you said Flash goes out.
Yeah, I know, yeah. It fooled me.
You were watching him do it.
It was the second I went into the free cam. He throws the P2K around, and I mean, you know, if that were me in that scenario, I would have died to it. So there we go. Pro players, ladies and gentlemen.
Wonderful stuff as ever. Either way, we are seeing the buyback up now. The CT side, they've not only skimped on, well, the FAMAS, the head armor a little bit, which shouldn't pay too much, but they don't have a huge amount of utility, and a lot of that has already been thrown out. Not going to be easy for them to hold on to this round. Of course, if they are to lose it, it will send them into a reset and give the lead further over to Tricked. Of course, if they can win it, well, then we really do have a close game on our hands. 4 players currently very close quarters over on this A side. Ivy has been completely rescinded though, and well, Rez is going to be able to trade one back, but Epsilon is just entry fragging all over the place at the moment. Barber's going to go down as well, and Draken, well, you're nowhere near the action at this point. Just going to try and save this AWP, maybe be the catalyst into the next round. But that was very nicely executed from Tricked. But I have to just point out, why was there no one like defending Ivy at that point? I realized it was smoked, but surely that means that Freddy should have known, okay, I've got no cover.
Yeah, it was a very weird setup. The other thing is as well, I mean, they'd leave Draken at hold down B. I would argue it'd be better maybe to have Barbar locking down that B site with his AWP, leave Draken out towards A. He's someone who I think can, you know, hold down the side. I get probably out of the two, he is the better AWPer, right? So you want him to be solo, leave the other one backed up by 3 players, but still, Barbar, sorry, Draken wants to try and hold on to the AWP. Asilian's trying to go for it, and they're just walking around the smoke. They water straight past each other. Asilian's wondering where the hell he's gone. He's trying to spray for it. He's not in there, Epsilon. That's not where he was. That's an 11-9 scoreline now secured as they save another AWP into this one. They might even opt to force buy behind it. There's the pause being called in. I think this is going to be not only a... Oh, okay, well, it's Kali lag. Never mind. But,
oh, yeah, that is some hefty lag. And
750 ping.
Well, he might have a bit of a peeker's advantage.
Thing is now on the side of Tricked, right? The money's starting to build up. You got you got nearly 6 grand on Hunden, 5,000 on Epsilon as well. Everyone else kind of sitting around the $3,000 mark. And if they take this next one, if Epsilon do decide to go for the force, which they very well might do, then they risk ruining the economy of the CT side. The Swedes would find themselves in a very, very awkward predicament. They've got the AWP. I think they're just going to have to try and leave Draken to do what he can with it. If there was anyone I would want with an AWP on his own, it would be Draken to try and switch things up. But now you've got Maeve to counter. You've also got 4 rifles in play. Nothing of the sort on Epsilon. They're going to be buying down a few deagles here and there, dropped over by Draken actually to Freddy B. So it doesn't like they're just going to be buying down a $2,000 to buy up into the next one, just to keep their economy in check. Even if they kill everyone on the side of Trick, they'll have enough money to buy anyway. So it isn't going to be worth it to force buy up. That will mean, though, unless Draken can go huge, or any of these players that do decide to upgrade the pistols have a really decent round, this should be going 12-9 in favor of Trick.
Yeah, this is one of those rounds where basically Draken has to do something ridiculous. And although it's definitely possible, it shouldn't be happening. As long as utility is used well and they actually make sure all the angles that they're checking are clear and basically just ready for this. They know that there's an AWP being saved. They should be prepared for him to do something ridiculous. And well, you're seeing it right now. They're going to go for a 3-man push. Freddy's going to start. He's actually managed to pick himself up an AK, and they even have the AWP just holding the back angles. The A site at the moment has nobody on it.
Yeah, Borb's going to be here alone, and he's going to find out sooner rather than later. There's a lot of players.
He has the bomb. He needs to run.
Yeah, he needs to get the hell out of there. Still trying to hold this angle, waiting perhaps for a teammate to rotate on and through just to try and help him out. But Epsilon, they make the smart decision. They've got the rifle. Now they opt to fall on back with it. Would be nice to see that chucked over to Rez, just because he has got that armor to play around with. I imagine that is what we're going to see at some point. Right now, though, Bomb looking a little bit confused as to where it should be heading. They do decide to make their way back over towards B. Now, Draken is posted up here with the AWP. He should be able to find 1 frag at least. And if he can just fade away with the AWP, shouldn't even get refragged. Smokes and flashes out in towards A main. That's going to allow Maeve to make his way on out. Should be able to peek this with the AWP. Rez, he's going to be able to find 1 on 100. Turns around, there's more players coming in from behind. He finds a second frag. Looking for a 3rd. He's already on 2. Maeve finds a little bit of damage with the PT-50. Rez, he's going to get himself another. Looking for this 3rd one, and there we go. Maeve goes down. Rez with the deagle. Didn't even need the AK. That's going to be the double up setup as well for Epsilon now. An AK scavenge too. Plenty of money in the bank from them. Tricked do have enough money to buy up, but against all odds, Epsilon, they find themselves the 10th.
See, the thing that sort of gets me there is they made the right call overall to go back towards A. They just took way too long to do it. Now, I think they must have spotted at least 3 players over towards that B site. For me, that's where you just have to explode out on A. You just have to. You have to just go, okay, we've got to take a little bit of a gamble. Yeah, we'll clear the angles. Yeah, we'll throw out the smokes. But they just sat there for a bit, and all that meant is Rez rotated back all the way over to the other side, and they set themselves up in a very nice way to just be able to take pot shots, and that shouldn't ever be the case. Tricked making big mistakes, taking a huge dent to their economy, but they will win the first and second duel of the round. And honestly, Epsilon just fade away.
Yeah, already they're going to be sure of the save into this one. Tricked will be arriving a 12th round. 12 to 10 is going to be the scoreline. They keep 5 players alive for Tricked, and that's going to boost the economy. Unless Hunden goes down here as he goes aggressive. He's going to try and find a little bit of damage. Oh, peeks up. Just sees Freddy. His little CT side mushroom cap thing poking over the top. And there's Rez. Deals with the Cillian. They're looking to try and find a couple more frags on these players who are hoping to save. And at this point, I'd say it'd be better for Tricked to save what they can and boost the economy than go hunting. They don't really find themselves in too much of an economic scenario that's very beneficial to them. And even if they take one of these rifles at the hand of Epsilon, a force buy will still be incredibly possible. But there we go, 3 rifles saved. And that's going to allow a fairly decent buy coming in for Epsilon. Literally everything they're going to need to try and hold back the tide of Tricks. Maeve's still going to have his op. 4 rifles in play as well, and a boatload of utility for either side. This is kind of the make or break round here for Epsilon.
Yeah, definitely. Potential is there now for Trick to edge themselves ever closer. They're not safe yet. Still have the might of Epsilon to try and stop them. They have only managed 1 round other than the pistol. The buys have mostly been going the way of Trick thus far. Again, they are struggling with utility. This time they have switched up. They've got an extra player over towards this B site. It is going to be the Barber-Draken combo. Hasn't been a bad combo throughout this series. A nice nade to start things off. Draken actually going to miss the shot, though, and missing a second. This is not something that we expect from him, and now both players over on B are going to go down. A little bit hit and miss, literally, in that scenario. And all that means now is Tricked have completely dominated this site. And this round, 2 players left. Rez is just going to go running for the hills. Can he actually get out of here, though? Takes 1 with him, but this may just be a little bit too risky. He's now going to be missing a shot, and they know exactly where he is. That AWP may not be lasting much longer, as S-Tag is going to clean him out. And in the meantime, Freddy's just like, buddy, why didn't you come back with me? Could have gone all the way into T-spawn and just kept our guns.
If they had done, if they had saved the AWP, it would have made all the difference. A very strong force buy would have been entirely possible. Now their fate remains a little bit more up in the air as a result of only saving this 1 rifle. You will have 2 players who can afford to buy very convincingly. Freddy B as well can potentially drop a UMP towards one of his teammates, but I'm hoping those 2 players on $5,000 buy, down to about 2.5 thousand. But no, instead, they're just going to opt to go for the aggressive buy. Draken, the glass cannon AWP. UMP dropped over to Carly, as I said, and I mean, I'm not sure if this is too great here, because now if they lose, their economy is going to get reset. They'll be on a double eco. And at that point, Tricked can very easily breeze over to match point.
This is a risky scenario. Draken is going to be switching it up over towards Ivy. Will still be able to hold the angle. Isn't actually going to be able to connect and has to fall back. And there's actually still 3 players on Ivy at the moment. He is going to go rotating back around to try and take a different angle. Doesn't have much support in the way of his teammates, and with 3 players pushing in this direction, I feel like they'd have to make quite a big mistake to allow him to actually get more than 1 kill. Either way, Halle has now rotated in and is actually going to line them up and knock them down. He will eventually be traded by Hunden, but that leaves the AWP, but he's going to fall as well. S-Tag, the timing, just pulls in and gets both. Lovely 360 to finish off 1 more. And now we leave. Whatever, angles are hard. Freddy is going to be the last one left alive to try.
360 would be a complete spin and then looking in the same direction.
I know my mistakes, but you've just pointed them out twice. You're a horrible friend.
1v3. No 360s here. As he tries to make his way into the site, just a boatload of fear. He does slowly but surely make his way up the ladder, and I don't know if they're going to be ready for this. Thinking he's going to try and play around the smoke. Now he's up towards heaven. They're not going to give him anything, though, in the way of positioning. Hello, Maeve? I saw Maeve. If I could see him, Freddie B could see him, right?
You'd hope.
Now finally he knows where Maeve is, I think. Still doesn't get able to land that shot, though, and for the time being, it looks like Hunden might be able to mop him up. It takes out the nade. The timing could be very unfortunate here. The flash goes down, but then fully flashed. Still finding that frag. 14-10 in favor of Tricked. And here we go. Epsilon, they arrive at a very awkward position. Do they go for the force, or do they play for the overtime?
Yeah, it looks like they might be, you know, getting off for the next stop. They've arrived at the wrong junction. Train jokes coming in hot. But,
this cast is off the rails.
Yeah, I think we need a little bit more training. Don't worry, I'm sure there's someone in the chat who can track our progress.
Honestly, I can't think of another. You bested me. But, it is going to be returned back into a 4-on-4 swiftly by Maeve there. He does find that one on Akali. The flash goes out. Rez now gives away his position, and he's going to fall at the hand of Hunden, who now jumps down, grabs that bomb. It's still a 3-on-3. They've done some serious work with these pistols, trying to be able to find another Hunden. The eco frag going to be on 2. And now has to make his way up towards B. Barbar does find Maeve. It's a 1 versus 2. Draken goes a little bit aggressive, though, and now it's going to be made into a 1-on-1. Hunden, he's on 3 frags now, and this has been insane for him. He's got to get the 4th. Barbar does have an AWP to play around with. But Hunden's got all the time in the world. He's going to plant it for up, and now he's going to seek to go aggressive. And this is good. This is such a mind game from him. Unfortunately, he's not going to be ready for Barbar coming in from behind, and that's going to be 3 for Barbar. Both players fielding a triple kill there.
Okay, Barbar. Nice little bit of BM just to end out that round, but he has saved them. And this is sort of the second time where they've managed to pull out a round they probably shouldn't have been able to get. It does really show how dominant that we've actually seen this T side go, because I think that, if I'm not mistaken, the 2 buy rounds they've won were technically not even buy rounds. It was the round where they had that AWP onto Draken, and then all the pistols that went aggressive, and Rez got 3 kills with the Deagle, and then this round. That's the only buy rounds that they've actually managed to win.
Yeah, pistols have just been their thing, and I think they should only use them from now on. Let's see if they yield my advice. Doesn't look like it, as it's just going to be rifles across the board. They leave Barbar alone and over towards the B site. You know, Tricked haven't been big fans of B. Instead, it looks like they're going to be trying to hit A once more. ES3 tag up to find 1 out on Akali. Draken now has to fall back, try and trade this out. Asilian up on top of the train, and he gets caught by that flick, but Draken can't quite land it. Now they know where the AWP is. Bomb's going to go down in the smoke, and Freddie B couldn't quite deny it. Gets put back into a 3-on-3. Draken trying to retake this site, pushes on up. He's up towards Old Hell, peeking through the gap in these trains, I guess, and it's going to be put into the 3-on-3 retake. Hunden just clean onto the ladder, peeking on over. And Epsilon, well, they are all over the site right now. Trick taking this very passively. S-tag behind Electric Box, peeks on out. Great pop flash to find the first. Now Rez can't deal with him, and Draken might get caught out as well. Rez is going to fall now into 1 Draken 1v3 and Hunden. Well, it's all easy for God Hunden. The real man worth mentioning there, that the MVP of that round is going to be S-tag, who finds himself 4 insane frags to carry Tricked to their 15th. That's going to be match point secured now for the Danes. Epsilon, they don't have much, if anything, into this last round, or what could potentially be the last round.
I think the scariest thing about this map has been the amount of shots that I've seen that I'm like, oh, Draken will hit that, and then he doesn't. And it's like some of the shots are not particularly easy shots. It's just they're things I've come to expect him to hit. It's like when I saw WSG saw Kiev on LAN, and he was just missing shots all over the place. I think he got nervous. It's just one of those things that you see a player like that, and you're like, okay, that's not what I've come to know of you. And that's really some of the game-changing rounds we've seen in this matchup. Either way, so far, not too bad. They managed to get quite a successful trade. In fact, a lot of damage done onto Barup in the meantime. Barber actually going to grab another one with the CZ. And I think, again, with these pistols, why even buy? Just don't buy at this point. Doing so much damage with these weapons. Only 2 players remain. It's going to be the 3 versus 2, and Barup, well, he's got to be careful that one of those pop flashes doesn't bounce back and hit him in the face, otherwise he's going to be going down.
And they're making their way towards B, trying to scavenge the weapons. Epsilon are going to have almost the equivalent of a full buy here. They should just stick with the pistols, though, Tom. As we have seen, I mean, Draken's taken a very long time to find a rifle. They have got a kit to play around with, luckily enough, but it's going to give Tricked plenty of time to get in these post plants. The crossfire is going to be looking very strong, and that smoke... I don't know if they're going to see this coming. Borup just sitting in it. He's only got 1 HP. It almost looks like a fail smoke, and that's why it might be so effective. He's just biding his time, waiting things out. The smoke's going to start to fade. They didn't check it. And oh no, Carly doesn't land the shot.
Oh my god.
Down goes Draken, 1 HP, but Borup finds 4, and that's going to be Tricked arriving at a 16-11 scoreline. The series goes 1-1, and we are going to be going to the decider, which is Overpass. Epsilon versus Tricked is shaping up to be incredibly close. Tom, do you have any last thoughts on this one, my friend?
Well, just a huge improvement, exactly what we saw from them previously. A turnaround on the map, a lot of mistakes coming out as well from Epsilon. They didn't look like the same team we saw previously. Draken going a little bit quiet, missing some shots I don't expect him to miss, and well, Cali definitely wasn't on the map in any same perspective. Do have to give props though. We saw some great rounds coming out from S-Tag. Barup right at the end getting a quad kill, and a lot of very good individual performances coming out. And you have to remember, they started 8-0 up, so to then go back to a 9-6 half and then continue to do what they did on the T side, very impressed and excited for Overpass.
Yeah, so that's just the first couple of people we see in chat. Paul Poo, Epsilon is good on Overpass, question mark. We will see. Manalinki, can Epsilon win? I don't know. I can't answer these questions. So I'm just going to say hello to people in the meantime. Cat the Fire Mage. That's the name that you liked, right, Tom?
Magic. You didn't even read it right.
Oh my god. Yeah, Cat the Fire Magic. Oh, I'm terrible.
You couldn't even read the one that was an easy name to read.
Yeah, I know. I can't ever do it. Tree Army, Banser, Ghost Flame 2153 says yeah. But anyway, we're going to be heading over towards Overpass any minute now. Be sure to stick around for the deciding map 1-1 in tonight's series. The second best of 3. And both games shaping up to be fantastic. The first one, bit of a stomp for Epsilon, but then Tricked came back on train. Can they do it again on Overpass? Reward, hello. Cryo Kevin, also hello. Volts20, how you doing? Steamy Fresh Meme, what a name. And there we go. We're going to be taking a quick break. Tom, say hello to a few people. We'll say goodbye, whatever.
Hello, goodbye. We'll be back in a sec.